Namaskar class, I welcome you all back to your chapter India Size and Location. Today in the class we will be talking about one of the most important characteristics defining the change in the amount of sunlight received, that is difference between day and night felt at Kashmir and not at Kanyakumari. So here today we will be talking about the importance of the extent of India, the latitudinal extent and the longitudinal extent. What the latitudinal extent helps us in? It helps us to identify the difference in the amount of sunlight received to the southern edge of India and to the northern edge. So hence it helps us to find out the difference between the day and night. On the other hand, we have the longitudinal extent of India. The longitudinal extent of India helps us to identify the time difference, which we will be doing in the next class. Importance of the latitudinal extent of India. In the given picture, as you can see, the amount of sun rays falling on the earth. Earth is tilted on its axis. We all are aware about it. So what happens is, due to the tilting of the earth, the amount of sun rays falling on the earth varies. Amount of sun rays received near the equator, as you can see, is direct. As we move away from the equator towards the poles, the amount of sunlight becomes slanting or indirect. So if I am talking about the poles, the amount of sunlight will be received is least, while the most amount of sunlight received is towards the equator. Secondly, we will be talking about the heat zones of the earth. I hope you can recall from class 6th. The zone between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn can be called as tropics, tropical zone or the torrid zone, while from Tropic of Cancer to the Arctic Circle and the Tropic of Capricorn to the Antarctic Circle is known as the temperate zone, while towards the poles we have the frigid zone. So now we need to see how it has been affecting the climate of India. As you know the location of India by now, the Tropic of Cancer passes through the center of the country. So firstly, if I need to recall the amount of sunlight received from the first diagram, I can very well correlate that the southern part of India receives direct sunlight, while the northern part receives slanting amount of sunlight. Secondly, from the second diagram, if I correlate, the southern part of India lies in the tropical zone, while the northern part lies in the temperate zone. So instead of saying it completely temperate, as it is very close to the tropicals, we also called it as subtropics. So southern part of India lies in the tropical zone and the northern part lies in the subtropics. Now, this amount of difference in the sunlight causes a difference between day and night in Kashmir and Kanyakumari. The difference between the durations of day and night is hardly felt at Kanyakumari, where the difference between day and night is almost equal. While as we are moving away from the equator towards Kashmir lying in the subtropical zone. So Kashmir is far away from the equator and the amount of sun rays are also indirect. Thus, the difference between day and night is felt at Kashmir, whereas at Kanyakumari, the amount of day and night is almost similar. Following the points to remember, we can see that the latitudinal extent of India is quite important because it helps us to identify the difference between day and night. India has a vast latitudinal extent from 8 degrees 4 minutes north to 37 degrees 6 minutes north. The Tropic of Cancer passes through the middle of the country, dividing it into two equal halves, also dividing it into tropical as well as the subtropical zone. Kanyakumari lies in the tropical belt, very close to the equator. Therefore, the duration of day and night is not felt. While moving away from the equator, Kashmir lying in the subtropical zone experiences the difference between day and night. Thus, we can say that the latitudinal extent of India is very important for us to identify the difference between day and night. Thank you, class.